Hello, surprise everybody. I am ready with a detailed analysis of net question paper 2021-22. Many of you were asking me to do this, and I thought now that I have finished the work on it, I will share with you what we have here. Let us take a look at this. This is on American literature first. First on American literature. From American literature, what are the questions that have been asked? See, sorry. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. Which of the following texts glorifies this as its predominant theme? Now, that is an easy question. It is not a difficult question. The answer is The Old Man and the Sea. A man can be destroyed but not defeated. What is the meaning of this? They might ask you a question from Hemingway. They might ask you a question from any of these options. The Old Man and the Sea, War and Peace, A Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Bell Tolls. These are the options. So in the coming net, remember, Hemingway is an important author. Match the following with the lists. O. Henry, Rudyard Kipling, Oscar Wilde, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, the names of short stories, etc., are not easy, especially when they are not very easy or very famous short stories that everybody knows. If you ask Last Leave or The Gift of the Magi, etc., you know it is O. Henry. Now, don't worry, the answer is A4. Now, at least we should remember, O. Henry wrote Hard to Forget. B1, Rudyard Kipling wrote The Last Sati. That is important. That is famous. Oscar Wilde wrote At Verona. And Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote Beauty. So, please remember these poems, short stories, essays, all these are important. And these titles could help you in the coming exam also, because they will ask you the same authors and their other poems, other essays, etc. Remember, The Last Sati is an important poem by Rudyard Kipling. And it is an important story by Rudyard Kipling. It is a poem. Uday Chand lay sick to death. I am reading so that you will remember. It's a poem, of course. Uday Chand lay sick to death in his hold by Gangra Hill. So Uday Chand it is about. All night we heard the death gongs ring. This is the story that he is telling. Rudyard Kipling is telling the story of Uday Singh. For the soul of the dying Rajput king. So this time when they ask you from Rudyard Kipling, they can ask you, The Last Sati is about a dash, a Rajput king, a Maratha king, Northeast king, etc. They can ask. So remember, this is O. Henry, Hard to Forget. Rudyard Kipling, The Last Sati. Oscar Wilde, At Verona. And Ralph Waldo Emerson, Beauty. Which among the following are appropriate about Latin American literature? Latin American literature is also important. There has been a racial coherence and unity in literary representations of Latin America. Absolutely wrong. There is no unity in Latin American literature. It is completely disconnected kind of literature. So many countries, so many diverse cultures. They all write about variety of political and cultural positions. First one is absolutely wrong. There has been racial coherence is wrong. The Latin American literary tradition draws an analogy between plant growth and human movement. You know, nature and plant growth and human movement. It is actually correct. If you don't know also, keep it aside, because it sounds like it can't be made up. Human movement and plant growth. Zulput's stories. Now, that is a writer that we don't know about, but you should study now. Zulput's stories depict the geography of Chilam Balam towns. Zulput is a writer that you should know about. Quechua had wide popularity and presence across different nations. So when you read previous year questions like this, you will come across many authors and works. Make sure you read about them, because this is a very easy way of knowing about them. Quechua is actually a brand name, so even if you don't know about it, we already know, but they are a tribe. South American Indians, they speak many varieties of their language, Quechua. So this is an important information that we learned from previous question paper, because this time also something like that can come. Latin American literature is unitary and refrains from intertextuality of any kind. Now, guys, that is E actually. Now, guys, you should understand that this is not a difficult question. Even though B, C, D are things that you don't know anything about, this is an easy question because A and E are surely wrong. They only want you to know A and E are surely wrong. This is a stress kind of question. Seeing all the Zul, Put, etc., you will think you have to study all that. That is not the intention here. Racial coherence and unity is not there. Latin American literature is not unitary. There is intertextuality. A and E is surely wrong. So B, C, D are the answers. This is nothing to worry about. This is an easy question, even though we have never heard of Zul, Put or Quechua. It is not even necessary to read about them, but since we have time, read about it, no problem. This is only a general knowledge English language question. Now, from the afternoon shift, Marge Piercy's novel, Woman on the Edge of Time. Marge Piercy now is a very contemporary feminist writer, and she has written a novel based on a feminist. Is it Shulamit Firestone? Is it Margaret Atwood, Lewis Carroll, or Donna Haraway? Marge Piercy is not actually a writer. Primarily, she's an activist. She's a feminist gender activist. So she wrote Woman on the Edge of Time. Answer is Shulamit Firestone's The Dialectic of Sex. Now, this is a 1976 novel. Marge Piercy, we should read about, because this is an important writer that we have come to know right now from the question paper. Like this, there will be some questions that are difficult, but remember, there are also questions that are easy. Which of the following works has Santiago as a protagonist? See, in the first shift, they were asking about Old Man and the Sea. Second shift also, they're asking about Old Man and the Sea. Easy question also. Every question is not difficult. Obviously, it is The Old Man and the Sea. Who has used the term bowling alone to describe the erosion of community ties in the United States? Bowling alone is a term used by Robert Putnam to, he's an American political scientist. He is not a writer, he's a theorist. Robert Putnam has talked about the erosion of community ties in the United States. And it could be important in the coming exam also. Robert Putnam, please read about. But please understand that even without knowing Robert Putnam, there are several questions that are so important and easy. Robert Putnam is not a main theorist that all of us know. But this kind of questions will help us improve. And also, remember, don't go wrong with common sense questions. Now, look at this one. At least one you should know from this. Easy one is there. One is very easy. The Lion's Skin. These are short stories now. Lion's Skin. The Man Who Liked Dickens. Rip Van Winkle. The Bride Comes to Yellow Sky. The answer is A2. Lion's Skin is Somerset Maugham. Somerset Maugham is a very major short story writer. You should today itself make a list of his major short stories and look through them. The man who liked Dickens is Evelyn Waugh. Now, the next one is easy, Rip Van Winkle. It is Washington Irving. That everybody should know. That is very easy. And D3, that is Bride Comes to Yellow Sky. That is Stephen Crane. Stephen Crane has also written many short stories. And Bride Comes to Yellow Sky is one of his many short stories. The Open Boat is also a prescribed short story. So remember, these writers, Washington Irving, Somerset Maugham, Stephen Crane, Evelyn Waugh, look up their short stories today itself. Now, these are the questions that we have from American literature. Now, let me bring you another area, which is British literature. Obviously, maximum number of questions are coming from British literature. I'm sharing my screen to show you the questions on British literature. Morning Shifts 2021. Who among the following Dickens characters appears as a ghost? That is easy. Jacob Marley in Christmas Carol. That is easy. Then Virginia Woolf's Orlando opens in 1588. And Orlando, a 16-year-old boy, writes a poem called The Oak Tree. There are two books that Orlando is writing. One is Ethelbert, a Tragedy. The other is Oak Tree. One question from Virginia Woolf is sure shot. So today itself, please study Virginia Woolf, also Dickens. Dickens and Virginia Woolf, sure shot authors. This is also easy. I told you several questions are very easy. Winston Smith. Everybody should know. Winston Smith is in 1984. Paul Morrell. That also everybody should know. Sons and Lovers. Whiskey Priest is The Power and the Glory. Leopold Bloom is in Ulysses, of course. Only one you might not know. It is Paul Pennyfeather. That is not so easy. Evelyn Waugh's Decline and Fall. So there is nothing to worry. There are many questions that are easy. I know, I am telling you this. From all the question papers, it's very clear. Who are the two speechless gazers? Two speechless gazers are looking at a flag that is rising. Is it Reverends James Clare and Mrs. Brooks, Liza Lou and Angel Clare? Even if you have common sense, you can say it is Liza Lou and Angel Clare, because the last part of this is very important. That is Liza Lou and Angel Clare, the speechless gazers. They don't want you to know this phrase, but they only want you to recognize, yeah, Liza Lou and Angel Clare did gaze at the flag. Which two works in the following list are written by Aphra Behn? Rover is very important. Rover is there by Aphra Behn and Joseph Conrad. Oroonoco for sure, Aphra Behn. When you study based on previous year question papers, who wrote Soldier's Fortune? Who wrote the Princess of Cleve? Like that, other options also you should study. Today itself, please read up on Aphra Behn also. One question from Aphra Behn can come in the next exam. Now, arrange the following characters in their chronological sequence of appearance. What is the meaning of this? When did they come in history? When did these characters originate? It is easy. Shylock is Shakespeare. Mirabelle is The Way of the World. Jimmy Porter is 20th century. It is Look Back in Anger. Sir Epicure Mammon. He is a very greedy man. Ben Jonson. So first is Shylock, Shakespeare. Then, of course, Ben Jonson. Then, of course, Restoration Comedy, Mirabelle. Then Jimmy Porter. That is also very easy. Even a BA student can write this. Very easy. Now, arrange the following plays in their chronological sequence. Here also, if you know a couple of these, you will be able to understand. Sergeant Musgrave's Dance is by John Arden. Then The Playboy of the Western World is by J.M. Synge. Look Back in Anger by Osborne, and Man and Superman by Shaw. First came Man and Superman. It was towards the beginning of the 20th century. Then came Playboy of the Western World, 1907. And then it is Look Back in Anger. Osborne. And after that, John Arden is one of the late absurd playwrights. So that is also kind of easy if you know Sergeant Musgrave's dance. That is there in our encyclopedia. If you have encyclopedia, look at John Arden. What might the speaker mean when he addresses time in a Shakespearean sonnet and declares that I will be true despite thy scythe and thee? Despite you, time, despite your scythe. Scythe is the knife with which you do harvest, isn't it? Time preserves human life. Absolutely wrong. It is about time destroying with the scythe, not preserving. Absolutely wrong. This is English language question. With time comes change. Correct. With time comes change. Time creates opportunities. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. He didn't say anything about opportunities. Time is actually destroying our opportunities. Time removes human life. This is also a child can answer. B and D are the answers. B and D. Only thing they will stress you out with all the options and you will think, oh my God, I don't know, it is difficult, but actually it is easy. Who is the author of the essay? Lear, Tolstoy and Fool. This question was asked previously before this also. This is a very famous essay now these days in every exam they are asking. It is George Orwell. Which of the following poems by Robert Browning contains the lines, our interest on the dangerous edge of things, the honest thief, the tender murderer, the superstitious atheist? Even a person who sees atheist must answer Bishop Blogram's apology. Bishop Blogram's apology is an important poem, more important than the others. Love Among the Ruins is also important. We have discussed it in encyclopedia. Please read it on your own. I am always telling you, before you go to bed, at least for 10-15 minutes, read poetry. Now, first lines of poems, and some of these are very easy. I caught this morning, morning's minute, very easy. The sea is calm tonight, very easy. Did you understand? A2, courage, he said, that is also easy. Ulysses, courage, he said, and pointed toward the land. So, Lippo, Fra Lippo Lippi, isn't it? All these are easy. So, read poetry. There are many questions that come from poetry. Courage, he said, is Ulysses. Fra Lippo Lippi, Browning. Sea is calm tonight is Dover Beach. Like that, if you know 2 or 3, you will get the correct answer. Easy. Now, which of the following poems contains John Donne's famous conceit, bringing a parallel between lovers and the hands of a compass? Array, this is BA level question. BA level question, isn't it? A valediction forbidding mourning. Again, chronological sequence. This is also easy actually. An aged man is but a paltry thing. This is from Sailing to Byzantium, W.B. Yeats. Before that it should come. The world is too much with us. Isn't it? That is Wordsworth. Daddy, I've had to kill you should come after that. That is Sylvia Plath. So, B.D. A.C. is the answer. After great pain, a formal feeling comes. That is Emily Dickinson. If you know the authors, these are all famous poems. If you know the authors, you can easily arrange because they are all from different centuries, etc. Arrange the following journals in chronological order. The Tatler. Then comes Spectator, definitely. A should come. After that, D should come. But the problem is, it is like that in all the options. Now you should know Examiner and Review. Review, Daniel Defoe came before everybody else. You know, in the encyclopedia, first I have done Daniel Defoe. He was born in 1660. After that, all the others were born. So it is easy to know. Review is the answer. First one, Review, it must be. And then Tatler, then Examiner, then Spectator. It is like that. So if you know some of these, it will become easier. You can at least eliminate. Who among the following edited Cornhill magazine? Very easy question. Cornhill magazine was founded by Thackeray. Again, I always say this in classes and encyclopedia. It's a very common knowledge. You should know it. Thackeray edited and founded Cornhill magazine. Charles Lamb used the pseudonym Elia for writing in which of these magazines? It is London magazine. Charles Lamb wrote in London magazine. Then Sean O'Casey, Dylan Thomas, Terence Rattigan, Arnold Wesker, J.M. Singe. Remember Terence Rattigan, Noel Coward and all are they're asking all the time. Shauna Casey, answer is Juno and the Peacock. What did Shauna Casey write? He wrote the Dublin trilogy. Shauna Casey, Dublin trilogy. Dylan Thomas, Under Milkwood. Terence Rattigan, Winslow Boy. That is based on a real incident. Arnold Wesker, I'm talking about Jerusalem. These are easy, isn't it? So, J.M. Singe, In the Shadow of the Glen. This is also easy. There is not a single one of these that I haven't taught, or that is not important. They are all very important. It is all there in encyclopedias also. I told you now, 60-70% of questions come directly from encyclopedia. Easy. Alright, this is also easy. Which among the following are the works of George Gissing? New Grub Street is George Gissing. Agnes Grey is Anne Bronte. Odd Women is George Gissing. Mary Barton is Elizabeth Gaskell. Again, BA level questions. These are all BA level questions. I don't know. There are so many questions that you can easily answer. Only some are difficult. Now, in Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Brown, Virginia Woolf responds to E.M. Foster's remarks on character in fiction. She criticizes book buying preferences. Which of these is correct? Response on E.M. Foster's remarks on character. I don't think that is the answer. Criticizes book buying preferences. Analyzes the state of modern fiction. Anybody who knows Virginia Woolf, the nature of her writing, will know this is the answer. She always writes about the state of modern fiction, and she contrasts Arnold Bennett, Galsworthy as materialists, etc. Remember, so 2 generations of writers, that is there in Virginia Woolf. And that is the answer. It is there in modern fiction, the essay, as well as in Mr. Bennet and Mrs. Brown. Which of the following novels is an epigraph taken from Kathopanishad? Larry Darrell is a pilot, American pilot coming to India. I have taught this. This is there again in encyclopedia. Are they copying from encyclopedia? I don't know. The Razor's Edge by Somerset Maugham is the answer. Larry Darrell is coming to India. Given below are 2 statements. In Waiting for Godot, it is Vladimir who questions the boy who comes from Godot towards the end of the 2 acts. It is correct. It is Vladimir. In Waiting for Godot, it is Estragans who says, nothing happens, nothing comes, nothing goes, nobody comes, nobody goes. It's awful. That is also famous. That is correct. If you read a summary, these 2, you will not go wrong. What was poor Yorick in Hamlet? Yorick was a jester in Hamlet. That's an easy question. A jester whose skull he is getting in Gravedigger's scene. Which of these plays by Girish Karnad shares its theme? Array, silly question. Thomas Mann's transposed his is Hayavadana. Hayavadana. Again, they're asking, who is the author of the essay Tolstoy, Lear and the Fool? It is George Orwell. Which 2 are the works of Ted Hughes? Vaudeville is famous work of Ted Hughes. Lupercal is also famous. Hawk in the Rain, Lupercal, Vaudeville, these are all famous. Wild Track and Jack Straw's Castle are not. Actually, this is not a difficult question. If you study Ted Hughes, you can easily answer this. Definitely Lupercal is there. He wrote a lot. He studied anthropology. He wrote a lot about primitive cultures, etc. Which of the following poems contains John Donne's famous conceit, bringing a parallel between lovers and the hands of a compass? It is, of course, Valediction Forbidding Mourning. That again, they're asking in the next session also. Which of the following are poems by Nizam Ezekiel that make fun of Indians' use of English? Goodbye Party for Miss Pushpa T.S. is famous, everybody knows. A very Indian poem in English, also famous, isn't it? A very Indian poem in English. These 3 are not about Indians' use. This is, I think, simple, easy question. Which of these poets wrote a poem that served to inspire W.B. Yeats to write When You Are Old? Now, that is not an easy question. Only if you study, you will know. The answer is Pierre de Ronsard. Pierre de Ronsard. Out of all these questions from British literature, only 1 or 2 were difficult. All the others were easy. If you study, you will pass. Which character in Hamlet says something is rotten in the state of Denmark? That is very famous. It is Marcellus. You should know Hamlet. Which book by J.G. Ballard has a virus that freezes everything? Freezing. Even if you read the title, you can understand. Freezing like crystal, it is crystal world. Crystal world. It is there in our encyclopedia. Which of these characters figure in Waiting for Godot? Array, this is so easy. Estragon, Pozo. Of course, Bassanio and Murphy are not there. They're so silly. I'm so angry that they're asking silly questions like this. Only BA level questions. Many of these are BA level questions. Who among the following condemned the transportation of slaves into England? That is not that easy. It is Samuel Johnson and Horace Walpole. It is not that easy. Transportation of slaves into England is condemned. Arrange the following poems by W.B. Yeats in the chronological order. The answer is Adam's Curse, The Wild Swans That Cool. That is early poem, important. Then second coming among school children is late poem, written when he was about 60 years old. You should know C is late poem. Then obviously you will get the answer. Among school children is a late poem written when he is 60 years old. That is there in encyclopedia. That is very common knowledge. So this is not not a difficult question. It is an easy question. You only have to know among school children is a late poem. Who is the author of Typology of Detective Fiction? Now, that is not British literature, as wrongly we put it. It is Zvetvan Todorov. That is theory question. In which book of Paradise Lost does Milton refer to Agra and Lahore? It is towards the end that, Adam is hearing about the future achievements of mankind. It must be either book 11 or 12. And in the option 12 is not there. So book 11. Adam is hearing about the future achievements of mankind. That is why it is easy actually if you have common sense. Which Shakespearean comedy is structured as a play within the play? Christopher Sly is watching a play. That play is Taming of the Shrew. Christopher Sly is watching a play. Taming of the Shrew is prescribed. So it is important. Which of the following fictional characters is believed to be based on Vlad the Impaler? Those who are interested in, horror stories, etc., will know this. This is not even a literature question. This is popular fiction question, popular culture question. It is Count Dracula. Arrange the following groups of poets in their chronological sequence. This is also easy, BA level question. First is Cavalier poets in the time of Charles I. Then it is Lake poets, that is Romantic poets. Then it is Imagist poets, early 20th century. Then movement poets, 1940s. BA level question it is. Which among the following are examples of Kunstle Roman? Portrait of a Lady is not Kunstle Roman. David Copperfield is famously Bildungsroman and Kunstle Roman because he is a writer, isn't it? Tom Jones is a Picaro's novel, not at all Bildungsroman even. Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man is also. David Copperfield and portrait. It is easy, isn't it? Anybody who knows basic things in literature should know this. That is not difficult. Who wrote a postmodern reworking of Charles Dickens's Great Expectations? That is not an easy question, but you can know now. Kathy Acker. Which of the following terms describes a novel of fashionable life? That also is there in encyclopedia. Silver Fork Fiction. Benjamin Disraeli wrote it. It was William Hazlitt who used the term. In the life of Cowley, which two of the following criticisms were made by Samuel Johnson? It is B and D against metaphysical poets. What did Samuel Johnson say? Instead of writing poetry, they only wrote verses. They neither copied life nor nature. These are also easy questions. So I have only analyzed 2021 British literature now. We analyzed American literature also. I will come again live and we will analyze these questions like this. It is not difficult, guys. If you do basic studying, all of you will pass. It is possible to get JRF also. Don't be upset. Don't be stressed. I only want you to know there is still time and read all the major authors. From this analysis itself, you got a lot of major authors. Sit and study those authors from whatever material you have. That is enough. That is going to help you. Did you understand? I hope all of you are motivated and eager to study now. All the amazing materials you have is good and keep it, but based on this analysis of the question paper also you should study. Major authors cover like that. And in the next live session, I will start from NET 2022 morning shift. That is previous year NET. Okay, after that, we'll go and do other categories also. We did American literature, British literature. Then I will also look at Indian literature, European literature, then criticism, theory, culture studies, linguistics, of course, post-colonial literature and research methods. Okay, this is a series that I am starting, detailed analysis of NET PYQs to keep you motivated, to show you that only here and there a couple of questions are difficult. Majority of questions are easy. So relax, study properly, and see you in more live sessions. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.